Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to what will be our final playthrough of NieR, or our final installment of the NieR playthrough. Should have called the last one the penultimate one. I like the word penultimate. Don't get to use it enough. God damn it. So, when we last left NieR and the gang, our happy-go-lucky bunch of senseless murderers, we killed a whole bunch of people. I don't actually even remember. Turn this down a little bit. My headphones. So it looks like we went to the Airy. No, we did not go to the Airy yet, because the Airy is that inside piece. Yes, we went to the Junk Heap, finished up everything there. We learned about BP, P-33, and the little Shade Khalil, and how they were best friends who wanted to go exploring and just see the world. And that they had nothing to do with Jacob's death, and we murdered them for it anyways. We went through Facade, killed the poor doggos, who were just, fighting back against the humans that had killed all their pups. And Stone Guardian is the first one you get for going to the Lost Shrine and killing Gretel and the little baddie shades. So we are starting things off with story time. We were back in the Forest of Myth. Mayor is like, oh yeah, the tree? Oh yeah, that tree's in the middle. Oh, investigate it. Sure. So, because this is something that actually doesn't have anything different. There's no extra little scenes or dialogue, unlike the rest of the fights against the Shades. But, so, you could just power through this. Just mash. Look for the 2 bits of information you need to answer the questions, because the 2 questions it asks you to beat this sequence are randomized every time you do it. So you do have to pay somewhat attention. But I kind of wanted to start with this and go through it, because some of the stories it tells lead to sort of other aspects of NieR and, like, NieR's history, like the world of NieR. Nothing but odd people. Oh. So the tree itself, the tree talks about, this whole story is about the tree and its memories, and that is a gathering place of memories. So the tree, in actuality, is a large supercomputer. It is like a gigantic database that was created so that all memories, when somebody is turned into a Gestalt, their memories and their genetic data and all that would be stored in the tree. And then that data is used to build their replicant, the body that their soul will eventually inhabit. And then down the road, like the replicants, it's not really stated, but I believe, I can't remember if there's confirmation of this or not, that the replicants can grow old and die. They're essentially human bodies, just artificially created. But, like, the whole point of the tree is that, they have the replicants, and the replicants were designed to keep going for a long time before the Shades could, or the Gestalts could be put back in. So they were there to fight Legion, to, rebuild society. So they're going to die. They're going to get hurt or injured. So keeping all of the necessary data to rebuild them in this tree, they can just make new ones. So perhaps, like, the NieR that we are playing as is, that very well could be like the 15th, 16th iteration of that body. And when a new one needed to be made, it was made from, the old NieR. Because it's really not unclear if the Shades, or if the replicants do get old. Because I think they do, because there is children, and there's people at various stages of life that were obviously turned into, like, the Gestaltified at different points in their life. But whether or not they grow past that is another story. Kaine's story seems to imply that she was a little girl and she grew up into teenager, young woman, whatever she is now. Her age is a little bit unclear. But, anyways, the tree is here to house memories and data, but it's being corrupted and it's losing it all. So this is not how it's supposed to be. The plan has failed. The plan being Project Gestalt. The tree had remembered everything about the world. This was its task, its purpose. Yeah, it was a giant data storage facility. That's what the tree was. It collected the memories of mankind, and like the tree was probably given some kind of artificial intelligence to sort of run it, kind of, you know, they built the androids, why couldn't they put life into the tree? Emotions were as much part of the tree's root and bark, memories collected like dew on the thick green leaves of the tree, and once they formed a web spanning the entire world. Words collapsed into sunlight from passing through the leaves and pool of memory from the pool. The words joined together to form colonies. This is just sort of fancy mumbo-jumbo about how all of his memories he collected were, like, how they interwove to form its being. So, a child is here brought low by disease. He is far too long to have suffered so. Thin beyond words, the boy's skin is a shade paler than the bleached hospital sheets upon which he lies. This is a story of a child infected with white chlorination syndrome, the disease that basically caused the world to go into this calamitous state. When white chlorination was caused by the meso or demonic element that was released from the queen beast when Kym and his dragon killed her back in 2004 in ending E of Drakengard. And when you catch white chlorination, if you are not turned into Legion, the evil zombie things that terrorized people back then, you would turn white and get sick and just turn into a big pile of salt. So this boy is dying to white chlorination syndrome. Yeah, they never found a cure for it. Once you got it, you were kind of fucked. Doctors have long since surrendered his fate to the gods, yeah. So the boy knows he's going to die, and he's depressed from it. He tries to reject the black terror that germinates in his body, which is probably a reference to the fact that white chlorination's trigger deep down was that you're subconsciously being given a choice to accept a dark god from some other dimension, and if you accept this, your soul makes this pact with the god, you get turned into a mindless zombie, aka Legion, and if you don't, yeah, you're salt now. You're salt, big pile of salt. Insert multiplayer video game reference here. So no amount of effort or tears can drive the invader away. As long as he resents his parents and doctors, yeah, so he's depressed and angry, but this one girl with tan skin and deep brown eyes being very important, because we're gonna have to answer that question later. So this like beautiful young girl comes and visits to him, and it's the only thing that makes him happy. But he's just so depressed and angry at himself that, like, he's extremely pessimistic since he knows he's dying. And then the girl disappears, and he dies alone. And this is one of the memories in the tree. Now, the female warrior. Her greatest enemy is a beast with red eyes she cannot fully comprehend. When she strikes it with a sword, it turns into a pillar of salt and then dies. So this is a woman who is fighting the legions. This is in and around the time of the prologue, 2050, back in those days when NieR and Yona get turned into gestalts. So she's one of the people that fought Legion, the red-eyed beast, the humans with... Basically, they turn into red-eyed humans that are crazy and have no will or desire of their own. They just want to kill and destroy. And then a new one, yeah, and this alludes to the fact there's so many of them. Stream of enemies fills her with a sense of joy. Somewhere deep within her drug-addled mind, so there's information, like, this is the first hint of side information, goes into more detail about, to help motivate, like, his Legion was just this sea of, essentially zombies, like, angry zombies. So, like, to motivate people to fight, they would, like, pump them full of adrenaline or drugs to, like, get them, like, super crazed and, get them out there fighting and killing everything. She began to fight with 33 companions. So, her daughter and 33 companions is the other answer. Time she hears a fierce low sound. Looking up, she sees a beast so large that it blots out the sky. This is probably an allusion to a giant shade, kind of like the ones that we fought. Her town gets destroyed. She loses her daughter. A red dragon falls from the heavens. Oh, that memory has been lost. That is just a direct... That is Kime and Angelus. When they descended with the Queen Beast, and all this bad stuff started. After many centuries of existence, the tree saw its carefully labeled memories were beginning to dwindle. So yeah, the seemingly infinite memories the tree had stored are dwindling. And the tree is just slowly losing them. You know, some to probably decay, possibly some to, like, the fact that they have a shade in here that's devouring them, that NieR kills in a sec. The other part of it is that even though they're completely separate beings, a person's gestalt, or shade, is intrinsically still linked to their replicant, because when the gestalt relapses, it causes black scrawl to show up in the replicant, and basically both of them are doomed, and that's it. When that happens, the replicant can't be rebuilt, so somehow it's also sort of corrupting the... Or it's like the tree needs the gestalt to still exist to be able to build the replicant from it. So it's one of those things that the very precise details of which are a teensy bit unclear. I know some of this gets cleared up in Grimoire NieR, sort of your post-game reading, but a lot of the more really interesting things, they don't elaborate fully in the game, which is kind of a shame. But I mean, the game probably just it was a victim of time and lack of budget, and information eventually got out there. Plus, Yoko Taro just loves to add stuff to his games months and years out. Likes to just keep piling plot onto the pile. So, and this is the tree reaching out to NieR and Vice to kill the shade that's devouring its memories. Whether the shade is a metaphor or just a literal shade that's eating, like, whatever, data chips or whatever the crystals are supposed to represent. And NieR's like, sure, I'll kill it. And then the tree is satisfied that they helped it. And the rest of this is the stuff we read before, and the tree sort of reaches out and it's like, oh, thank you. Lost Envy was brown. I almost forgot. It'd be embarrassing if we had to redo all this again. No. The rest of this is just sort of the tree kind of waking up and sort of regaining its humanity, for lack of a better term. Yeah. Tree's hurt and like asks more questions. 33 friends. Like, oh, they killed the shade. Oh, there's a key. Grab the key. And we did it. And all of a sudden the words are... the world of words that the tree exists in is all falling apart. Tree's identity began to absolve. Yeah, so it's whether they have now completely killed the tree entirely or not is up for debate. There is a post-game story about the tree, and it has transformed sort of into something else. In any case, the tree, we've done it. We have defeated the tree. Off we go. We got one last stop to make. That's the Airy. Actually, I think we gotta go to... he'll remind me. Popola. Yes, I gotta get the letter from Popola. So... which, on the second playthrough becomes... I don't need to say. Second playthrough becomes abundantly clear that Popola... like, she's not just getting all these letters randomly. And, like, oh, I got a letter from the Airy, you should go there. And I got this letter from... like, no, Popola is just sending you to these places and be like, oh, well, you should maybe go over there. I don't know. I don't know what a sacrifice key is. So maybe you should go look at the Airy, though. It's all... like, it's all part of the plan, but at the same time, the Shadow Lord, aka the original NieR, is kind of going off script a little. Like, he's kind of taking matters into his own hands, because it's like, he's kind of also at the point where he's like, I don't care about the plan, I just want my daughter back. Because he is driven by the same base desire as this NieR, because they are essentially, you know, the same person in a way, or at least deep down they're kind of the same person. And that desire is, I want my daughter back. In fact, like, I was reading through NieR's instruction book. I was just flipping through it and I was clearing some stuff off my desk, because I can't remember a time when games actually came with instruction books. And the little prologue story that they had at the beginning ends with the line that basically sums up this game to a T. That he will save his daughter, no matter what the cost. And that line is very expertly chosen by whoever wrote that. Because that is very much, like, the crux of this game. And the crux of NieR's journey. Both him and the Shadow Lord Gestalt version. They will save their daughter no matter what the cost. And that cost ended up being all of humanity. Like, as much as it is mostly this NieR's fault, like, the Gestalt version as well has, like, partially to blame, and, like, the two of them, both just wanting their daughter back above all else, dooms humanity to extinction. Oh, you should come visit the Eyrie. We're friendly now. Okay. Yeah, you should go. But those guys were dicks. Why should we go now? I don't know, let's just go. Which is basically what we're saying here. That whole conversation comes down to, go to the Eyrie, but those guys used to be dicks. Well, apparently they're not dicks now. Go talk to the chief. Okay. So off we go. Your second playthrough of this game is very different to your first playthrough.
The Eyrie, huh? All right.
I also realized I never turned my light on.
Chief.
Oh well.
What a soul-crushing place.
The only downside is I would really love to optimize it a little further, because, like, we were right by the Eyrie, because we were at the forest there. If I could have gone right from the forest to the Eyrie, oh man, saves so much time. Could cut minutes off the run. Minutes. Before they attack me, go! Ah. Yeah, just let him go. You fall off your boar, especially with the shades around, there's no point. You just give up. Give up on the boar. I'll kill you guys. Oh no. Oh, this is not the right way. At that point, you just give up, because you cannot get onto it with the shades attacking you. They'll just keep knocking you off, and it would take so long to kill all the shades just to get back on the boar.
Aren't you glad to be going back home, Kaine?
That place is a shithole.
Wow,
Don't be so
language,
nervous,
Kaine.
Kaine. We'll protect
At
you.
this point, language.
We do not desire.
Huh?
We do not desire needless conflict.
Like this, the delivery on the lines is kind of weird. It's very like zombie-ish.
If we can continue to live
Well, I guess
with
it's supposed to be a
humans,
gestalt or a shade, whatever you want to call it at this point.
Then we can continue to live peacefully.
but that man will come.
This is the first time when you kind of really get that NieR is known to the shades.
Yes, that man.
Like,
will
you have
come.
killed so many of them at this point.
He will
Yeah,
kill us
he's
all. He
like,
will
you are a
kill our
terrorist.
women and
You
children.
are this person that kills like gestalts, like men, women, children. You just indiscriminately murder every single one of them in your path.
What should we do?
That is why in the second half of the game, the Shades all start wearing armor, and they start becoming, some of them start becoming a lot more aggressive, especially outside the village, because
I got me taken care of. Worry about
it's like
protecting
they're
yourself.
trying to defend themselves.
The village.
Oh.
It's home to so many terrible little memories, isn't it, kinda?
God damn it, awful. It's not just your attitude, it's like so. The delivery is just so over the top. But yeah, like the Shades all know at this point, like who NieR is. Like especially post time jump. Like he is this violent murderer to them, who will do nothing, like will stop at nothing to just kill all of them. So it is very important that, you know, they stay away from him, or like, and protect like the women and children from him, and that's why they all wear armor now. It's not just like, oh, let's mix up the enemy designs for the second half. No, they're protecting themselves from NieR. Because NieR is awful. NieR is the worst. But despite of how horrible he is, like in his mind, he's justified. He doesn't know. He doesn't know the ramifications of his actions. All he wants is his daughter back. He thinks they're just mindless monsters. Even when he finds out they're more than that, or like, oh, I did not mean to do that. Even when he finds out they're just, that they are like the souls of humanity, he doesn't process it. Oh, letter. What letter? We're doomed. Yeah, so the Aerie has become this like haven where like the Aerie gets it. Whether they fully comprehend exactly what the project was or anything like that is unknown, probably not. But they have figured out that the Shades are not necessarily evil, that they are people. And like the people in the Aerie live harmoniously with them. Like this is a peaceful village of like humans and Shades. And it may have always been, even like your first trip around, which would explain why they're such assholes to you, because you're an outsider, and they've got to protect, you know, there's Shades living in the village, hiding in these houses, and if you were to find out that, you might kill them all, and so, like, they shoo you away. It's like, no, stay away from our village. But now, they have decided to lay a trap to get rid of the horrible murdering terrorist named NieR. It's like, letter. Oh, guard? A letter? Oh, what are you gonna do? You here to kill some Shades? Yeah, we're murder them all. Oh.
Everyone?
You're right, ma'am. It's not normal to just repeat a word over and over like that.
Look out! This man is
I
a
did knock him off the
Shade.
platform. Damn it.
It's a trap!
I thought as much.
Thank you. Yay. I feel vindicated now.
What? I got bored.
Arrows of the porters. You were distracted by the local welcoming party.
Mind if I join you?
A carnival of murder. I love it.
God, keep it in your pants, Tyran.
Tiny, villagers are possessed.
Not all of them. Some are still human. Be careful.
MP recovery rate plus 20. What do I have on? You get to kill so many of these. Oh no, not the ladder. See one, play one. Gotta get up the ladder, and then Kaine is gonna have her little cutscene. I was gonna skip this cutscene, but I think there is a Shade present in it, so we might actually get some extra dialogue. We shall see.
Get out of here! No! I'm not going to abandon my sister.
Not my sister. Oni-chan.
Kainen, who are they?
Don't
I guess that
believe
goes
her.
the other way.
This
But
woman's a shade.
even if she is a shade, why are you having so much trouble with her, kinda?
My sister! No!
So what, kid? What you gonna do?
You people are the true
He's
monsters!
not wrong.
Stay back. Your
Oh
sister
man,
is
he
one
is
of them
not
now.
wrong.
I don't care! She's my sister and I love her!
Oh. Oh, you let your guard down, Kaine. That's fine. Kaine be fine. She's tougher than she looks. Oh, we just wanted to live our lives. Oh no. Attack from behind.
Stop it!
Oh, I perfect defended him because of an attack there. Oh, you can actually understand what she's saying, too. Through the shade grumbling.
These people are behaving as if we are the villains.
Wow. Yeah, that's actually like English, not just shade garble.
Kill them!
It's very, very distorted, but
No! You've gotta stop this! We're trying to save you from the shades! Please! Please stop!
oh,
Emil,
gotta boop him so hard and slow the game down.
Kainen, get up! Hurry!
Oh, the little vixen has finally run out of steam. Is it waiting now? Are you sure about that, sunshine?
Tyrant. Oh, XP rate.
stop this at once.
Leave us in peace!
Everybody in this village is just like, please, you're horrible monsters, just leave us alone. And NieR and the gang are like, no, shades though, we gotta kill them, right? So many of them too.
Why did you have to come? Everything was fine until you appeared.
Yep. Yeah, so your first playthrough, you know, it just seems like freaking, like the villagers are still being assholes to you, and it's like, oh, this place is just full of jerks. Oh, the village is wiped out. No, that's all right. We can wipe it out harder. Don't you worry about that. Village ain't wiped out yet. You just wait and see what we got up our sleeve. Look at this big guy. Expose your arm. Expose your leg. Boop. Oh. Yeah, I don't think you get all of the, like, the villagers begging NieR. I don't think you get all that in your first playthrough, though. You get anything else? Look at this one. I think it's all just sort of generic, like, you guys are monsters dialogue. Give it another sec. Look at the moves on this guy. Oh, man. Look at that flourish. Flipping the sword.
Get them!
Look at... Look, you're so cool. But they stab you so easy. Oh, your husband was a shade. Well... That's not good for you, lady. And now we get Wendy. Big gross eyeball thing. Big gross eyeball thing I'm gonna need my spears for. I always forget to put them back on before I come here. What's up? What's up, eyeball?
By my pages.
Yeah, so I think this is like an amount. We
That
we
thing
get to
sucked up the
see
villagers.
through various points of the game that like the shades can kind of combine to form like super shades. It doesn't seem to happen very often. We're not really given a context of like what the cost of doing such a thing is, but
I can't.
we will see it again. It happens with the boar in the Shadow Lord's castle. Oh yeah, so like this is a coalescence of like villagers and shades and all that, and like it just doesn't even know what it is. All it knows is that it's under attack from this monstrously ugly man and his magic skeleton buddy. What's up, magic skeleton buddy? Doing good, Emil? Good. Good boy. You're a good boy, Emil. Even if you eradicate this village down to the last atom, that's fine.
Take more than a barrage of magic to stop us. First to waver is the first to die.
I think that's it. 25% HP, new phase.
I sense magic coming from the middle of that eye.
Nope, not yet. Whoa. Now? Nope, not yet. Now? Not yet.
Wait, stop! I think
Let
those
me
are
kill you
people.
faster.
Hold nothing back. There's a shade.
Well, we could be here a minute.
The surrounding tentacles appear
Yeah.
to deflect magic.
I figured. There we go.
Now, focus your magic on the beast's center.
And clock. And dead. Or not dead. Dead. Phase 3. This is where we get our sick-ass beam struggle between Emil and the eyeball. Oh, rip and tear. Just like the kid in the junkyard said, dude, the robots got rip and tear. It's like peeling an orange. A giant, disgusting blood orange. That's a really apt comparison. I'm gonna write that one down. I'll write that next to Swolves. I could be skipping this cutscene, but it's too late. And it's over pretty quick.
Look out!
Oh
Something's
no!
coming!
It's bye, meal. Peace out. No, don't teleport over here. You go handle that shit. I'm gonna run away. Ooh, the beam's following me. Oh no.
I'll pin it down!
Oh, that was weird.
Its weak point is
Oh, it's
located
so
around
cool.
the back. Attack it from
Oh, you're the
above.
best.
Emil!
Emil!
I'll keep it busy! You should be able to attack! From behind! Go around!
That's what I've been
Get it.
doing.
Please! Hurry!
The
Ow.
lad can take care of himself. Circle to the
Oh,
creature's
wow.
rear.
Well, the fist doesn't quite reach, but spears. Oh, hold up.
Did we get it?
It is escaping to the
Now
inner
it
level.
floats around like a balloon.
I'm coming. Gotta catch my breath.
Carefully, Emil. It won't help anyone if we lose you here. God damn it! We beat the hell out of that thing! How can it still move?
Its combined powers are beyond even my
I don't
greatest
think we
suspicion.
get much more from this one. This shade's not really a person.
Unless we slay the
It's
core,
like
all
more just this combination of things that doesn't understand what it is, so it's not really going to give us any deep insights. I was going to skip this, but in the interest of time, I should be skipping a lot of these, but this is a cool one, so. 'Cause you don't see Emil go full-on ultimate weapon very often. Or if ever. It's like the only time, really. This and when he like defends you from Coppola. Oh, it's just a big bag of blood in the end. Actually, you do get a new line from Tyran. Oh.
He's gone. His instincts have
It's
taken
GTFO
hold.
time.
The ultimate weapon is being deployed.
This ain't good, sunshine.
Yeah, that's all you get. Well, they were living peacefully with shades. They had it coming. Or so NieR would say. Probably. Well, they're all dead now. We get that cool shot of Emil. His head looks much less round in that shot. Hey, buddy. You did a big thing there. Okay, we're gonna skip your sad scene though. Alright, time to leave. It's like, well, the Eerie doesn't exist anymore. Time to leave. That's the last key. Which I think they'll tell me when I get to, like, near the exit. Or once I get outside? I guess once I get outside. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I believe this song's even... This version of Emil's theme is called
This is
Emil's
the last of
Sacrifice,
them.
too.
Now we can find.
We certainly can.
Yeah, we got all the keys. We're gonna get you, Yona. No, like, babies and children and that are gonna stand in our way. Too strong for them. Once more.
We should return.
One
to
more set of
Pergola
boar
and see if she
drifting
has any final words
before we
for
say
us.
goodbye to our fine furry friend here. This will be the last boar drifting sequence that we... Oh, and I fucked it up. Alright, it's fine. You rest now, gentle giant. You did good. You did good, friend boar. Alright. Oh, we gotta talk to Popola first.
I marvel at how relatively simple a task this retrieval process proved to be. It is almost as if someone deliberately set us on this
I do like
path.
that.
You're overthinking.
Almost
it,
like
Bryce.
somebody set us on this path.
But
I don't care if it's a trap. Yona's waiting for me, and I'm going.
I love little lines like that they inserted into the game that feel like just weird suspicions,
I see.
like, and just speculation your first time through, but on your second playthrough, it's like a real big just touch in the nose, like, someone set you on this path, all right.
You're really gonna do it?
Just kinda
The whole
rubbing it in.
village is buzzing. They say
We're
you're
gonna
gonna
rescue
rescue
Yona.
True.
Hard to believe.
I'll bring her back.
And the village
about that?
theme has become like the nice somber Yona theme instead of Song of the Ancients.
Nothing. Popola just loves
you-
anyway. You
So we're worried
I
because
will.
now we're gonna have to fight you. In fact, Devil has got like the wand, like both of them have the wands in their hands. Like you can kind of see it because that little bit where like the other arm of the chair would be is like that gold color, not the brown of the chair. Like they're both just sitting there with their magic sticks, like ready to throw down. Like they're gonna fly on over the second you walk out the door. I want to see it. Can I see it from this angle? Yeah, you can. It's totally. They're both just got their little magic wands. Yeah, their outfits do change. I think they lose that white part of their shirt. I don't think they have that. Because they do like, memory serves me that they look different. I don't know if it's just because I'm misremembering because of NieR Automata, because they have a similar design to that, if not a little different, a little less dressy and a bit more kind of sort of practical, regular clothing, but it's still like the maroon, white, and black theme. Move, dog. Whee. Every time! I do this every bloody time I try to go to this boat. I run, like, out the bottom, the southern exit of the town. God. Freaking never learn. Good thing it's the last time I have to go to this bloody boat. You, sir, your boat is in the most inconvenient spot. Why couldn't you have docked on the shoreline beside my house? It made life so much easier for me. Let's go. Let us shove off. It's time for fun and murder. Yeah, let's make it back alive, okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good plan. I don't think there's anything special in our trip through the Lost Temple. So it is 100% speed run through this place to get to the Shadow Lord's lair. And I'm stuck on an enemy. Perfect. Speed run over. World record time not established. What the fuck are you doing? That shade was just dancing. Yeah, unless you do a lot, because I did some side quests. I didn't do a ton of them. Like, I think my side quest completion is probably like 30% or something like that at this point. I think those wizard shades in the road, the one that's like shooting a billion projectiles at me right now, I think they show up in maybe one of them. If not, like, here's the first time you see them, and which is kind of weird that like the whole enemy type is relegated to like the very last area of the game. Especially when they don't really have a ton of enemy types in this game. I'm curious now, what is my side? Oh, key. 44%. So I'm not even halfway done side quests in this game. I did quite a few. I think I got like 10% or 15% in the front half. Unfortunately, like a good half of the side quests are in the front half of the game, and if you progress past that point, you're locked out. There's no way to go back and do anything. Luckily, there's no weapons or anything super important, but if you're looking for like 100% completion, you've got to get to, I think it's 51% side quest completion before you trip, basically before you go to Emil's Manor for the first time, because that triggers the second half of the game. Or once you finish that quest and you go back home and like, you're basically locked out after Emil's Manor of the stuff in the first half, because if you do his manor first, I think like talking to the Devil and Popola triggers the triggers whatever the next part that locks you into the finale of that half. Suffice it to say, we are not going for 100% completion. 100% completion of this game, like, and platinum trophy status is a lot of work. Like, I wonder, the fact that you can buy trophies in NieR Automata, I wonder if that's just a little nod to the people that platinumed this game, the original NieR, because of how much grinding, how much work it would take to do it. And it's like, hey, you put in the work to do that. This time, you can just buy it. Huh? See? Huh? Just a little like wink and a nod from Yoko Taro, a little elbow in the ribs. Because yeah, just if you didn't cheat, if you didn't do like I think I worked working it out, and from like what I've heard from other people, doing the lunar tier side quest, growing a lunar tier in your garden, if you do not progress, like, cheat your PlayStation clock and futz around with things, it would take over a month of real time to do that quest, because it takes 2 days, like it takes 48 hours for the flowers to grow properly. So by the time you have to keep cultivating different sets of flowers and cross-germinating plants and blah 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 just to get the seeds to do it, and then hopefully, and it's got a really low chance. Like, so you could spend easily a month doing that quest in real time. It's insane. Just for a trophy. I think the lunar tier flower in your inventory, like, you can eat it and it's like a full restore potion. So, I mean, it's not useless, and it's worth, like, a ton of money if you sell it, but... Like, there's also a trophy for $1 million. Like, you get 1 million gold in your inventory. That too, like, without the plant growing, like, that would take you forever to grind that kind of money. Yes, save. Alright. Now we're going in. This first little bit will be fairly samey. This first little bit's just going to be...
Such an ominous sight.
Oh, strangely.
I find it strangely nostalgic.
Now the path is open. Okay, so it's an elevator. It's clearly an elevator. An elevator to where? We're not sure. It's like that's the issue. You go through an elevator. So like the Lost Shrine, like we came out the back of the Lost Shrine. Like when we like went along that little bridge and then up into the shrine, up those ladders, when we got here, it's a building surrounded on all sides by water. Like 360 degrees. It is just isolated in the middle of this like lake in like a pit, basically. So you go up an elevator, you somehow go across this sky bridge thing, you pop this open, and you're now in a city. So it's one of those things that was just a contrivance that the journey was cut for time or something like that, or you're just supposed to have... You're supposed to hand wave it. Like, I'm a Dungeons and Dragons DM. Yeah, hand waving things, like, that's just part of the job. Like, I understand that, but it's so, like, you're in the Lost Shrine, and, like, now, all of a sudden, I was in some kind of an office building. Like, need a little bit more. Just a little bit more to bridge that gap. Like, show me getting in the elevator and going down, and then talk about how we had to go through a big tunnel or have us run through a tunnel, maybe fight a few more shades, go up another elevator, and then pop out here. And all of a sudden it makes sense. We went under the water and outside the wall past the Lost Shrine, and here we are. Oh, talk to the birds. Yes. Smash, 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 because this is all the same thing. Humans disappeared because of a black disease. Humans can be survived by separating the body from the soul.
I answer.
Put them back in their corresponding shells. I am...
Well then, seems the way's open.
No goodies. Now let's fight Devil Apopola. Hey, ladies.
It's the twins from your...
Popola? Devil?
Hey, any chance you'll just... This is even if you can find Yona
here, you should just give up, NieR. Yeah, they are definitely wearing different clothes. They don't have the white anymore.
We're asking questions right now.
I guess that's because they're bad guys now. We had to change them up a little bit. It's like,
no dice. Like, no, I suppose.
Sorry, girls. Gotta rescue my Yona. Unless the white is like an apron. Maybe they had like just like a work apron on.
We didn't want to fight you. It's true. We didn't want to.
All the music in this game is so good. It's so fucking good. No, Devil Apopola. I won't fight you either.
Never
You guys
thought
are great.
you'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness. Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so with us.
Oh, I'm not doing any damage because I've already reached the damage threshold. Cutscene. I know they suck all the powers out of ice. Let's skip that. No, my powers.
Copied my past.
That damage, though.
Of course we can.
Just.
The power came from us
Ow.
in the first place. We simply learned a small portion.
After you, sometimes when you start stabbing with the spear, your turning radius is so slow. Like, you start stabbing, and it takes a lot longer to turn than you think it's going to. Then you just end up stabbing in the same direction.
The
over and
answer
over
to
again.
every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadow Lord.
You're working for the Shadow Lord, and then they fly away. Alright.
Devil and Hopla are fighting us.
You think I'm fast forwarding
They
through
do
some of this
seem to
now?
be
Wait
putting us through a
till
great
we get to
deal
ending
of
C and D.
hard-
Oh no. Word salad
right
from
there?
Grimoire Vice.
How odd. For long years, my mind and tongue have been my greatest assets.
That's fine, don't worry about it. Look at Waltz. Wall of Jericho collapsed. That was the wall set up around Shinjuku District. To keep in the disease. Doesn't work. Clearly didn't work. Look where we are now. We're in a room full of ghosts that is also not explained. I think the ghosts are supposed to be some form of shades.
It certainly
Because
is
the
a
ghosts
grand
disappear and
affair.
are replaced with enemy shades, so...
Bunch of dancing bastards.
They're all shades.
Ah, royal ball, how utterly.
Oh, they're calling us defilers. We're not human. I mean, that is true. Holy sanctuary. Yeah, so the Shadow Lord's castle is a holy sanctuary for
Not
humans.
like I was planning to leave.
It is like their...
It's a bit late for
It's
that.
their town. It's their... Like, this is for all forms of shades. Like, whether they're busted and, like, falling apart or not. This is where all shades, all gestalts can come and be safe from people like NieR. Like, that is the point of this building. And here we are busting and tearing the place asunder. It's like we have busted into your last city. This is their Zion. If you want to go like for a Matrix reference, and we've just we are the little squiddy dudes. We just came busting in and we're tearing the place apart. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Oh, that did not kill you. I feel like I have other words I could... Oh no, that one's doing things. That one was dancing at me. Gotta stop it. Can't let it dance. Block, block, stab. You don't really see these armored ones very much either. Yeah, so these guys that my friends have completely annihilated. I'm kind of glad they... Oh, that was good. Good shot. I'm kind of glad they weren't in the rest of the game,
I'll open the
because
next door.
they were
Cover
actually
me.
very annoying to fight.
Oh, how delightful to die.
And if you had to fight lots, like quite a few of them like this, early in the game when you didn't really have, like, when you didn't really have
Protect the hussy, yes.
lots of magic
Good plan.
to throw spears like willy-nilly, like they would be awful to fight, which is maybe why you don't see them until like the very end of the game. No, please. They just want you to leave.
Protect Kaine for us.
And the reason
Door.
for it is
Come
very
on.
evident, like as soon as
Come
Kaine
on.
gets that door open.
Kind of. Hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
Oh, did I get them both?
Oh, you idiot.
Goddamn no good bullshit bastard!
I don't understand why Kaine didn't try that first.
Got it.
Kaine. Look out.
Look out for the shade balls. It's like meatballs, but not at all.
Crap.
Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. Wah. Oh.
These things are freaking me out.
We need to help Kaine.
I think he gets. Yeah. And then the shade tries and like, no, please stop. They're babies. They're just babies. They don't know any better.
Kaine, what's wrong?
We've waited for so long. Now we can finally recreate them.
We need to help Kaine.
Spare the lives of the children. Oh my god, NieR, why are you just murdering all these children? No, we need to kill babies. We need to kill babies from. Oh, I'm almost dead. Oh, killing babies is dangerous. We did it. Killed every baby. Feel like a big man now. There's a spot where Kaine reacts to that too. Where it's just like, no, they're shades.
But we got problems.
Oh, she's gonna protect the babies. Just in case you weren't sure if NieR was a monster yet, we just gotta keep kind of hammering that point home. That she turns into a giant boar made out of babies? It's unclear. Or she uses the power of the babies to transform into a giant boar to protect them. There can be no justice in the slaughter of innocents. I shouldn't have killed her so fast. Yeah, she just brings up some good points, like how many we killed.
We don't need.
Yeah, there's Kaine just talking back to the shades. Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's all we're gonna get.
Wait a second. Your heart is different. It ain't hatred, and it ain't sadness. What's going on here, sunshine?
Ow.
How should I know?
Kaine, are you alright?
Fine.
So Kaine, why do you keep talking to
Move on,
yourself?
all right?
Interesting. Oh, how very interesting.
Yay, we win the day. This terrible monster has been defeated. Except not. Now she's back with armor. Or it's a different one? It's kind of unclear. Oh, I framed right through that. Healing.
Can we even hurt this thing?
I will kill you with nothing but fists.
Oh no!
We can't stop now.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Stay focused, Kaine.
No! Don't fall victim to such distractions!
Come on! We have to keep going! Move it!
Well, then you guys get the door open so we can leave. I'm too busy stabbing this thing. Got it open yet? Yay!
This way! Move!
And that'll be that. There's no way it could possibly follow us through a door. Let's use some of these.
Up here!
Oh, look at that.
How can we deal with
spear makes this so much easier. Oh. He says as he starts to stumble and fuck out. Getting that extra speed boost. Because it's very easy to fall behind. And if that thing catches up to you, it's just an instant game over. And you gotta do the sequence over, like, again and again. Which is kind of annoying.
Damn it, I can't get it open!
You gotta kick harder, kinda. Oh. That was a bad dodge.
Maybe you shouldn't have.
Maybe.
Look at her. So full of
Nope, I didn't work either.
She's just like you, sunshine.
My Kieran is different. Hate is just another crutch for you. No one likes you. So you try to dull it all with violence and pain.
Kinda. I'm gonna look at a bit of an existential crisis with Tyrant.
It is.
But just realizing that isn't
Kinda.
it's too late for us now.
Can you just finish so that I can stop taking 4 damage needlessly?
Strike the beast while it's down.
Okay. Oh.
The entrance is locked too.
Oh, it's talking. Damn it. Although if I strike it down, it probably would still say these words. But
It seems that we're in a bit of a
yeah,
predicament.
so it's basically just we must stop you. You are not gonna get to like our final sanctuary. Oh, that was exhausting. I hit it like 8 or 9 times. I'm exhausted. And now for the save! Oh, my phone goes off. Oh, I'm professional. I'm gonna mute that. King of Facade, so cool. Yeah, this moment that felt so like heroic in the first playthrough. All of a sudden, not so heroic anymore. There's no way for them to know. They're just here to like repay the debt to their debt to NieR.
How did you get here?
You are correct.
But
Oh, it's just combo up. Depending on how long this goes, or how long this fight was, if I had a faster weapon out, I probably could get the 100. There is a trophy for, oh, stop, I got stopped at 38. So I couldn't see anymore. There is a trophy for 100 hits, like a 100 hit combo.
hey, stop!
There may be one for 50 too, I don't remember.
King!
Aw, you're such a cool guy, King of Facade. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Open the door! You can't fight them on your own!
Defeat the Shadow Lord, get your daughter back. "88 rules."
心中枯れるとは改ざんテラス
あんた改てウラーヌペルアトッチ
ラールカイザトトチ Open the damn door!
Come on. Let's go.
Kaine.
He's fighting
Yeah,
for you.
the rest of this is just
and for Fira.
them telling, like, no, we gotta go. And they're right, we gotta go. We got bigger fish to fry. Recovery potions, you get those so infrequently. Those are the mega elixirs of the NieR franchise, or of like the NieR LP. I have 5. I've never used one. End of my second playthrough, I have 5 of them. Like, they're super rare. Like, there's a smuggler. Like, there's a side quest you end up doing where you end up retrieving a bunch of cargo for some woman. It turns out she's like a weapons smuggler. They're all full of like drugs and dynamite and shit like that. And you can turn her in, or you can turn her in, or like to the authorities, or you can just give it to her and be like, no, that's fine. And if you do give it to her, like, she becomes a merchant. I think she sells the recovery potions. That's like the only way you can buy them. Oh, look, you're here.
We've been waiting.
What the hell is...
It began humanity finding itself on the
And now we learn about Project Gestalt.
Undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
Guess.
Do you still not? Then let's...
Oh, it's the documents that I missed out on last time. Oh.
Definitely.
All of us.
You lie.
Nope, not this time.
So then humans.
No.
Yep,
they
humans
still
are
live on.
shades.
Each shade is a...
Crazy, huh? Now,
Wait.
sorry,
Wait,
but
wait,
we're gonna
wait,
be
what?
Please don't be angry with us. Under the command.
We have to fight you now because we're awesome. Okay, let's take a second this time and actually look at these documents that we missed out on last time. So, first one. As noted in the previous report, implementation of Gestalt mode can prevent the white chlorination syndrome we recently experienced. Transfer of bodily information to civilization-repressed replicants is proceeding as planned, with the genes of the original safely stored inside. Our role as surveillance androids to prepare for when the incurable bacterial disease eventually dies out is also underway. So far, this is proceeding without issue. Yeah, so because the white chlorination syndrome requires a soul, because it sort of goes after your soul, even though it is a bacterial disease. You know, the part of it that's like it's after the human soul. By ripping the soul out and turning it to a Gestalt, they're able to shield it, because the Gestalt doesn't have a proper body. It can't get infected by the bacteria, and then the replicants don't have a soul, so they can't get infected by it. So by pulling the two apart, like, everything should be fine. So that's the whole plan, is just wait till the disease is completely gone from the world and just put everybody back together. Yeah, it didn't really work out that well. This is where you get the proper information that Popola and Devola are observers. That is their job, is to observe and help sort of drive the project. Next one. This document discusses potential strategies for the relapse cases we've observed in recent years. The term relapse, of course, refers to the catastrophic loss of sentience seen in certain gestalts. This syndrome has defied even our most pessimistic initial estimates and continues to trend upward with disturbing speed. With some relapsed gestalts beginning to attack replicants, there is urgent need to take comprehensive action. We remain convinced that an unknown technological defect in the transformation process is responsible, but we can't figure it out. Research of this condition, so the whole Gestalt process is flawed, and everybody that they turn into a Gestalt relapses. Some faster than others, but it happens. And it always happens until NieR. NieR is the only one that works properly. That just, for whatever reason, in him, it took. And then they use him to kind of... You can also see these reports. This was report 923. This report's 9,000. And these ones go into like the 10,000. Emergency response conference special meeting. observe the upward trend in relapses, so the relapses are getting worse. Acceleration of restoration schedule. So they talked about accelerating when we put the gestalts back into the replicant bodies. There was talk of like, hey, let's speed that up a little bit because shit's going bad. Debate over using codename NieR for human restoration schedule. Preparations to launch Weiss decoding system for above. So this is them preparing the Weiss NieR trigger mechanism. Order collection of guidance and release for NieR. Order collection of guidance and release code for NieR alongside Weiss launch. Which, the wording for that is really kind of... But this is post them finding out about NieR and dubbing him the original Gestalt and starting to use him. We have determined that the rise of relapses was due to an unexpected spike in the sentience of replicants, as well as a genetic instability within the original Gestalt. It seems the original's effect on bodies that have undergone the Gestalt process was not anticipated in advance. Immediate action must be undertaken to identify the links between this trend and the original Gestalt, along with its daughter, the relapsed case known as Yona. The observer contact groups are growing uneasy, so finding a solution should be considered a top priority. See other reports for more details. It'd be really nice, too, if we got dates on these. All we get is the reports. But yeah, relapses and, like, the original NieR's sort of ability to control them, and, like, it's not... This one's not super clear either, but it basically links NieR, Gestalt NieR, the Shadow Lord. It talks about how he has a link to the other Gestalts and how... It kind of points to why he is, like, the leader, and, like, why he's so important to this whole process. I've missed you twice. There we go.
We're the same. You and us, tools in the hands of a monster.
And
I'm nothing like you. None of us are.
I think that's it. No, it's not. Oh, that would have been it if I sucked. There we go. Oh no, Devla. And this is the great no one stops cutscene that I'm sad to skip, but I have to. In the interest of time. Popola, please stop.
Devil, no.
Now Devil and Popola are dead, and Popola goes nuts. Popola tries to kill us, and Emil sacrifices himself. We find ourselves on the other side of a door. Oh, except first we get this cutscene, which we did not get last time. Seems the guys from Facade didn't do quite so well. We get kind of a similar... We get another parallel back to the wolves. Except, like, this time it seems to be going less well for the king. Oh yeah, he did it. King of Facade is such a badass. Like, even NieR couldn't kill this thing. And sure enough, King of Facade. Fucking badass that he is. Except he is mortally wounded in the process. Nice little send-off for the king that we didn't get the first time around. We get to see the king's final moments. Which comes right in the tail end of Emil sacrificing his life and getting himself blown, basically blowing himself up so that we can survive. I help you, Cap. the Yona. Oh, soon the body will be back. So this tells you right here that the Shadow Lord planned for this. This was the Shadow Lord's idea to let you to get you guys in here so he can get NieR back. Which means, you know, he's at the point now where he's given up on the. He's no longer in like leading the rest of the Shades. He's in this for himself. Get Yona back. And to get his own body back so he can be with Yona again properly. We get our touching scene between Kaine and NieR, which I'm going to skip because it's the same as last time. Kaine goes in, they almost have a smooch moment. Then smooch moment is, and she pulls away. Because she has to. Because if she gives in to something that's not like hatred and anger, Tyran will take the body over. Get all four? Yeah. Plenty of time. Die, little children. This is gonna wear out the second I run to that door. More enemies. As they get stun locked by my whirlwind. That was fun. I think we have another room of it. just blenderize everything in here. So good. And that's it. That was the last line of defense. Just us and the Shadow Lord now. Oh, us and the Shadow Lord and his book. Can't forget about Grimoire Noir. In this conference hall or whatever this was supposed to be. Like a ballroom in a hotel. So I don't think a lot of hotels have their ballrooms on like the top floor of buildings. Yona. I can safely skip this. I know there's no more dialogue, but no dialogue from the Shadow Lord until we actually begin to fight him. We can safely blow up Grimoire Noir.
Be careful!
You too.
Hey, Sunshine. There's something kinda weird happening in the heart.
Oh, hey, we already got this line though. That's weird.
The hate is gone.
Oh, we got something similar.
The sadness is gone. It's just a bunch of white light now. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it.
I can parry the Shadow Lord. Oh, I can! Cool. Parry timing in this game is so rough.
Don't you get it, Tyran? I'm not the only voice in my life.
Oh yeah, that's right. We don't even really get a lot of, like, any Shadow Lord.
I'm a curse. Freak.
It's like not even Shadow Lord dialogue. It's freaking tiny dialogue.
Guess what? He still accepts me. He still forgives me.
No, come on. You're doing this for him.
Stand-up guy. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Unless that fly was a shade, and then I would fucking kill him.
His sword, one last time.
Okay, anything for you, buddy?
Vice, you all right?
Naturally, I'm as big as a fate.
Nope. Oh. As we just stand there and wail on each other. It's like Kratos and Baldur.
Wait.
Just stand there and punch each other in the face over and over again. Yona. You can already kind of see she's not even walking towards our NieR.
Dad.
She's walking towards the Shadow Lord.
Yona.
Doesn't make this moment any less cool, though. She walks right by him.
What?
Yona.
Dad, stop. Please. I don't want this anymore. I don't need someone else's body.
Well, you need somebody's body.
I don't want it. There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She keeps crying. She says she wants to
Shadow Lord
see
just
Dad.
trying, like, no, like, these bodies were created for us.
This girl loves her father too, as much as I do.
Despite the relapses, despite everything else, like, this is the
She
number
loves him
one
just
problem
as
with the
much.
Gestalt, the Project Gestalt, is that the
it's not
replicants
right
were
that
left
she can't
for
see
too
him.
long and self-actualized, became completely sapient and grew personalities and souls of their own. And now there's just no going back. Even if you were to jam a shade inside, you would get something like Kaine, where it's the two selves would just be
Are you?
fighting with each other, and like what Yona described here, where there's like a little girl inside her mind just crying and wanting her dad.
Yes,
Like,
I am.
humanity is done.
Let's go home.
It's all Kaine's fault. And then NieR's fault. No, Yona.
I'm sorry, Dad. I don't know what to. I'm so very sorry.
I guess she's lucky it wasn't a cloudy day.
I love
Or else
you,
this
Dad.
wouldn't have worked.
I love you.
I like to think, too, that, like, the fact that she's got kind of almost like a non-corporeal form is the fact that because she was so sick and busted when she was turned into a Gestalt that she probably never fully
Hurry.
formed into a
The shade
proper
that
shade.
possessed her is
She was like
gone.
one of the more like busted shades that the other ones seem to be adamant about protecting. Like, buddy, you seem mad. I mean, like, look, I could just take my daughter now, and we could go,
Watch over Yona.
and everything would be fine.
You want me to understand your sadness? You think I'm gonna sympathize with you?
Even the Shadow
I
Lord's
swore
like
to
just
protect my daughter. and my
even
family.
overcome with grief.
If someone puts them in danger,
It's like he
they must
can't
stand aside
believe
or
like
be
what a
cut down.
monster this other side of him is.
Let's go.
Like, NieR is very much the person he could have been. Because, NieR started out essentially as him. Because it's his replicant. Oh, and then Grimoire Vice ceases to be. And the Shadow Lord is all but defeated at this point. Cannot live in a world without Yona.
I have something to defend.
God,
I have a reason.
rubbing it in there. Oh, one of them got me. Oh. Yeah, you can see he's already resigned himself to death. Like, he knows NieR has grown too strong. Oh, down to the music box version. In the end, Shadow Lord he just gives up. Just accepts his fate. Which even causes NieR to kind of question himself. Like, just that half second of questioning whether or not this is right. Due to the fact that Shadow Lord is like the one enemy that just... He's like not even done. He's not bleeding out. He's not broken and defeated. He's just... He gives up. His Yona is gone. There's no point in him living on. And with one fell swipe, NieR dooms all of humanity forever. What a happy game this is. Did you get real inspiring? Now we get the Shadow Lord's ending. Where he laments on the fact that he failed. Poor Yona. And now we're back here. I don't think you can actually... Can you go anywhere? No. You can't even swing your weapon. Oh, you can jump, though. That's good. All you're supposed to do is just walk forward 2 feet. It does give you that nice little, like, what?
Here, Dad.
Oh, Yona found a cookie.
You can have this cookie.
Yona, you and your cookies.
I don't need it.
I'm already full of cookies.
But that's
I found a
what
whole
you said
box of cookies
yesterday.
while you were asleep, and I ate them all without
You
telling you.
haven't been eating anything, have you? Come on. At least take half.
Thanks.
Which is a nice callback to the scene where she gets sick and keels over from Black Scrawl. When she... And her whole sort of... her whole gestaltification in the prologue. Oh, his wings are gone. Oh, it's everybody. It's all the shades. All the people that we killed along the way.
Hey, Dad.
That one quick little just visual representation of our monstrous actions.
Thanks for always being there for me. Oh, here. I brought your half.
Yona.
And that is ending B of NieR. Where we get a route where we get a much broader sense of NieR and crew's actions, where pretty much everybody in this world is just steeped in tragedy, and just nothing seems to end well for anyone. I don't think I can skip the credits. I don't think you can ever skip the credits, so... So what we have to do now to get to get ending C, and it'll tell us once we've actually once we get through this and save our game, it'll be like, okay, now you have to go collect all the weapons so that you can see what's next. And luckily I have all the weapons. So I've already done that, so we are good to go. So endings C and D are a choice from the end of the game. So basically the best way to do it is you get to the end of the game again, and then you can save just before you enter the Shadow Lord's castle. That's the last save point in the game. You beat the game, get ending C, you come, and then what you're supposed to do is reload, restart again, do a whole nother loop, and then get ending D. But we're just going to reload the save game and get them both. Because unfortunately, there isn't anything different for Route C, you want to call it that. Sort of the naming convention. Calling them routes is kind of the naming convention the later Yoko Taro games like Drakengard 3 and Automata sort of take. And it's a good thing to call them, rather than calling them New Game Plus. New Game Plus is what this was originally kind of called by the community, because it didn't really have a term for it. And that's partially what it is, because you retain all of your items and all your weapons and all your levels and stuff. Trying to listen. This is trying to figure out what version this is. This ending theme is sung in 4 or 5 different languages. And you get like a different language through each like credit sequence, and like we got the English one for ending A. And I think this is sure, I don't know. I'm not gonna stab at it because I'm gonna get it wrong. No matter what I say, it's going to be wrong. I don't think it's the Japanese one. But I think there's a German version, I think there's a French version, I think there's a version in the made-up language, like the NieR made-up language that Amy Evans like sings in like all the other songs, like Song of the Ancients. Oh, I think this is the French version. I said I wasn't going to guess at it. Like, put in the comments below how absolutely wrong I am about everything. Or in the stream chat, whichever method you're watching this. So I have a little bit of a time saver. I actually went ahead last night and I blew through ending B and all the way through the C playthrough up until that last save point, so that we could kind of get this going. If I was doing this as a playthrough for YouTube, I would basically cut from this ending all the way up until it's time to get like the difference, like the time ending C, like after the fight with Shadow Lord. But fortunately, on a live stream, I don't really have that option. All I can do is mash through that whole last part we just did as fast as possible. Skip all the cutscenes, skip everything, because it's all the same stuff we just saw. And we should be able to blow through it pretty quick. Yeah, it didn't take me too long, actually, to blow through. Like an hour, maybe? Probably, I think I spent an hour and a half-ish total to go from, or I think hour and a half to 2 hours. So I basically loaded up the save game we started from right now, from the start of the stream, and then I just played all the way up until the beginning of the Shadow Lord's castle on the 3rd route by just mashing all dialogue, skipping everything. I didn't even pay attention to the screen half the time. I was watching stuff on YouTube just so I could set up that file for us to use. Oh, that's right. There's one last little bit of business to get to. One last little detail. He lives. Our good boy Emil. He lives.
Wow, that was crazy. I can't believe how well my sister's
It's just a head, but he's
up.
fine. Still good.
Kinda hard to move when you're just ahead. I wonder where everybody is. I can't wait to see them again.
Fucking great,
But
Emil.
before that can happen, there's some stuff I gotta do first. Like finding a body. Or at least some legs.
Yeah. This leads into... Oh.
I sure hope Kaine and Vice haven't killed each other yet. I swear. They leave them
This
alone
leads
for
into a
one
short story that precedes NieR Automata, where like 2,000-3,000 years past this point, when the aliens show up, the aliens that like create the machine life forms that you fight in Automata, they first show up on Earth and they find Emil. Let's save over this. That's not the good one, right? Memory 3 is the... That's the good one. So memory 2 is nothing. But yeah, like the aliens show up and the aliens get into a big war with Emil. And Emil copies himself 80,000 times to obtain all the weapons in the game. You'll be able to make one final decision that affects the story. Let's go. Let's do it. Now we use our little premeditated cheating that I did last night. What did we finish up? We finished up at level 34, so you got like 2 levels out of it. Yeah, I'm up to level 36, I think almost 37 by the time I got to this save point. So I might hit level 37 by the time we clear it. Had better luck with words. Like, the words are random drops from your enemies. Like the attack plus 30, knockback resistance plus 25, all that crap. I had much better luck when I grinded through this, because I think the words I ended up with on this file are, yeah, magic power plus 30, magic cost minus 30. Those are the 2 best for that. Attack power, I only ended up with 20 for attack power, but, oh yeah, XP, I put XP rate on, because why not, right? I wanted to see how far I could level him up. Alright, here we go again.
Such an ominous sight.
If you're getting a bit of feeling of deja vu, that's because we just did this. But it's fine. We are going to skip through this as fast as humanly possible. No stalling for chats, no stalling for listening to the dialogue or anything. We are just going to kill and kill and kill and get to that cutscene with the Shadow Lord. Or like the fight with the Shadow Lord as fast as humanly possible. And then, unfortunately, we're going to have to do it again, because the final 2 endings are a choice. Oh, yeah, I can't go through that door. Gotta talk to the birds. Yeah, so you pick one side of the choice, and then you go back and you do something else and pick the other side. Black disease. By acquiring leaves of the sacred tree, of course. Anything you do here that's wrong, go through the door, answer any of these wrong, you just get warped back to the start.
Well then, seems the way is open.
It just loops and you start it again. No big deal. Hey guys.
Hey, this is even if...
Really want to try? Why are those 2 here? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, why are those 2 here? Doesn't do anything. Alright, it does the same thing. I don't want to pick this because maybe we'll pick it on dice, huh? On run D. No, maybe.
Devil, what's happening?
Sorry.
That was weird.
This is our fate. We never thought you'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness.
Why do you block our path?
What's really madness is the fact that I can't hit you guys.
You are a traitor.
Yeah, there's just so many little minor things that went wrong with this. Like, the whole Project Gestalt, the whole plan for saving humanity just went wrong in, like, every conceivable way that it could.
What now?
Like, with the replicants gaining sapience, with the Gestalts relapsing and sort of going out of control.
They simply loaned you a small portion.
Grimoire Weiss losing his memory because NieR beat him up. And like NieR becoming so strong that he completely like ruins the plan. Like they try to use him as a tool to kick the last parts of the plan into action. Just try and salvage what they can, but NieR is kind of too stubborn, too dumb, and like just doesn't. He ends up too strong.
It certainly is a grand affair.
Do 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 do.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
And the music goes all screwy, which is a shame. It's that same sort of leitmotif as, because like that song is that's the ending song. That is sort of Yona's theme. The one that the waltz is playing.
It's not like I was planning.
It's kind of the official sad music. You have a couple of iterations of Kaine's theme, and a couple of iterations of Emil's theme that play at various points throughout the story. Especially Kaine's. Kaine's comes through quite a bit. Then you have several iterations of the Shadow Lord Castle theme that is playing right now. Like various versions of this play throughout the entire final area. This game does a really good job. Like, Keiichi Okabe and his soundtrack did a great job with establishing like musical sort of themes and melodies and carrying them through various different like compositions and story moments. Oh, we did it! Chat, we did it! Level 37! You're so strong now. How much XP do we need for next one? 137,000 XP? Don't think we're gonna make that. Unfortunately, this is not one of the areas that I can speed up. What have I got on? Whirlwind? Let's put the lance on to deal with those flying dudes. NieR, you gotta turn more, buddy. It's not the one I was aiming for, but I got one anyways.
They won't stop coming.
I'll open the next door. Cover me.
Dun.
Knock it off, Vice.
Oh, right. Check the hussy, yes. It's good.
No, our treasures lie just beyond. And by treasures, they mean babies. Tiny babies. Oh, not so tiny babies, actually.
Door. Come on. Oh, come on.
I think this fight is actually it's conversation based, not so much.
Do I look like a
Doesn't really matter
goddamn
how many of these
locksmith
things
to
I
you?
kill. We're just kind of waiting for the conversation to get to that point. Okay, we're not gonna murder every single one this time for funsies. I think you only have to kill the ones around kind. Yeah, there you go. And now it's a boar. Boop, 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 boop. Dead.
Got it.
That's a boar again. That's fine. Poke you in your boar butt. Quick stun lock it. I think I can kill it like 3 times over before it even gets up from like the first. It's like while it's on the ground, I'm like killing it like 2 or 3 more extra times. Jeez.
You can't stop now. Damn it.
Stay focused, Kaine.
Hey guys,
No, don't fall victim to such distraction.
don't distract me.
Come on! We have to keep going!
Oh,
Move it.
yeah, come on, we gotta open the door. Oh, that was useless. There we go.
This way.
Cool.
Move.
The camera's fighting me. It's fighting me. It's like, no. Pay attention. What do I want to pay attention?
Up here!
I think Kaine and Emil, like, well, Emil can fly. That's how he got there so fast.
How can we deal with this thing?
Maybe they took the elevator up, just didn't wait for NieR. That'd be really rude.
Please hurry!
Oh. Oh, that's not good. Oh, we're fine. Alright. Trigger the boar.
Damn Damn it, I can't get it open!
These fights end up feeling, when you're trying to just race to the end to get these endings, or these sequences feel a little more tedious than when you're actually doing them. They're a lot more harrowing the first time, where you just feel like this oppressive, like this thing that won't die and it's stopping you.
Just like you, sunshine.
I'm like you're any different.
Oh?
Strike.
See if we can get a... You know what? Hold on a sec. What's the fastest sword I've got? Probably the Rebirth. Okay, that doesn't work because I don't have the strength to stun lock it.
How did you get here?
Yeah, it was worth a try. I want to see if I can get my combo trophy.
You are correct.
Yeah, it was worth a try. Can't blame a guy for trying. Emil,
Emil, help me out here.
you gonna give me healing, Emil? You do your weird little skeleton dance? It also might have meant, hey, Emil, come kill this thing that I'm killing. Oh, good. I want to see if I can make it to the door before they, Alright, Opal and Devilaton. After another hallway. Oh, I was gonna say, do I not even have... I don't even have medicinal herbs? That's weird. Alright, rush, rush, rush. The only really crappy thing, it's one thing to like mash through the end of the game just to get to, so you can get that third ending C. It's unfortunate that we're gonna have to just mash through all of this a second time after, just to get ending D as well.
Popola.
Oh,
It's a shame, but alright.
It began humanity.
Guess.
Do you still then
It's not a perfect system. It never was. Like, the way they handled the multiple routes and multiple endings in NieR Automata was like a perfect. That was a near perfect way of handling it. Like, it was a much improved version of the same thing.
Don't be under the
But it's still neat. Very flawed, but still neat.
You're the same.
Sorry, Devila. Sorry for this. Oh, let me skip your death. Oh, almost got her. Oh, I bounced. And she's dead.
No.
If I had enough strength and enough power, I wonder if I could one-shot her as she's sinking into the floor. If I could just right through, that'd be great. Oh, sad scene with the king. Unfortunately, we're gonna skip it this time. Well, unfortunately, we're gonna skip it. We're gonna skip like every scene, all the way. Oh, we gotta kill her. Oh, that was a mistake. Well, I mean, it's still kind of helping. Broken saw. At least it strips the armor off. I fist to be a much better solution for this, but there's only 3 groups. 1, 2, 3, spin! Yes. Optimal child murder. Perfect. Out the door. And now we fight the book! And I went right through it because the fight hadn't started yet.
Hold nothing back.
Oh, that was fun. Oh, yeah, that's right. Right into the Shadow Lord fight.
Be careful!
You too.
Hey, Sunshine. There's something kind of weird happening in your heart.
So he's got to be like, why is he so strong?
The sadness is
He's me.
gone.
Why is he so
Just a bunch of
strong?
white light now. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it.
God, we beat him so fast. Like it's forcing us to like go through the rest of the dialogue.
Wait.
Kaine, watch over Yona for me. You want me to understand your sadness? You think I'm gonna sympathize with you?
Sympathize with that, buddy. Oh no, guys. So that first one's easy. Second one's a little trickier. If there wasn't such a huge recovery on the dash, it would be a
I
problem.
have something to defend. I have a reason
Watch
to
my
live.
health. Well, just get locked in menu hell for a minute there. Goodbye, Shadow Lord. Time for new stuff. Finally.
Well, ain't that
You don't look so good, Kaine.
I'm happy for him.
You know, Sunshine, that black scrawl has almost completely taken you over.
Yeah, I know.
But goddamn, we had fun, huh? Killing and killing and more killing. What a rush.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wait, no. No. It wasn't fun at all. I turned you into a killing machine. I spread evil and chaos around the world. But it all feels so empty now. Why? I don't understand.
Oh. The edgelord tyrant's grown a conscience.
Sorry, Sunshine. Maybe I'm just nicer than you thought.
Stop. Don't treat me this way. I hate it when people are nice to me. I'm gonna swallow you up, Sunshine. I'm gonna swallow you whole.
Phew, phrasing, please. Especially when we know what kind of bits Kaine's like rocking down there. That's becomes woefully inappropriate. But that's all we're gonna get. Hey,
Kaine,
what's wrong?
What is it?
Listen to me. The shade inside me is growing.
It's getting
And
bigger.
I can't stop it. Soon. Real soon. I'm gonna go berserk.
I can't hold it back anymore.
Kaine, you have to fight. You have.
Just shut up and listen to me. Emil is gone, all right? So there's no way anyone can stop me.
What are you talking about? NieR is good at killing shades. Didn't you see what he's done for the last like week or two?
Before it comes to that, I want you to kill me. Consider it a final request.
Almost for a second there, you think it's like kind of going gigantic. Oh, Jesus. Final form Kaine, which would probably be a lot cooler if you didn't actually see, if she did not transform into a shade earlier in the game. this here, seeing Kaine as a shade would probably be really fucking cool as like your first reveal.
Well, hell, Sunshine! It's not like I can stop it! When Gestalts go out of control, they lose their minds! Your memory and mine
Yeah, so
will
this
be
isn't like
completely
Tyran trying to take over. This is... Kaine is the shade part of Kaine is relapsing. Or like, the shade is relapsing inside of her, and she's getting the black scrawl, like, because of it. So... both halves of her are pretty much fucked. Oh yeah. Now we have a boss fight. A boss fight commensurate to our new strength. What's the magic defense one? Halves damage from magical attacks. Yes. Oh, do we have to hit Kaine? Oh, I guess we have to hit Kaine.
We didn't come here to watch each other die. You taught me.
Oh, I can't block these either.
You taught me that man must be strong to protect those he loves.
I don't want this dialogue.
I'm going to save you. I swear it.
Oh, it's just a matter of... well, it's just a matter of survival.
Well, there might be one way to say...
Who said that?
It don't matter, so don't ask. Just shut up and listen.
Wait, are you...
I
Kaine's
said,
thing.
listen! There's a way to save Kaine's life, alright? But you're gonna have to make a difficult decision.
I'll do whatever it takes.
When the time comes, I'm going to pin Kaine down.
Oh.
And as soon as I do, you need to stab her in the heart.
No, I can't.
Cool, she blocked it.
Don't believe me. Stand with your thumb up your ass and watch her die a terrible death.
You want me to believe you?
Oh. I probably could have done massive damage with that. That's it. Damn it. It doesn't work on her. Kaine, sweetie. No match for my ridiculously overpowered spear.
Very nice. Now, if you want to save your precious Kaine, there are two ways to do it. One is to plunge your sword into her chest. That's what she wants after all. Freedom from burdens. Freedom from life.
What's the other way?
The other way is to
And
make her
here's
know
the
she
choice.
again. But to make that happen, you gotta trade your own existence for hers. Well, there you go. Good luck with that.
You're the shade inside Kaine. Why are you trying to help her?
Probably for the same reason you are. Enough talk. Make your choice.
Oh, you still have your menu at this point. You know, just because it looks cooler, we're gonna finish the game with the Beast Lord. And here's the choice. Your choice is between ending C and D. So we're gonna start with ending Kaine's life and freeing her from burden. Goodbye, Kaine. It's a little weird you don't actually see the action of him stabbing her, but it's a little more brutal with the gigantic sword out. Should he picked Iron Will, it'd be like the same size as her. Yeah, see, he's a little more, when it's a shade that he knows, you know, now that the shade is Kaine, he's a little bit more sort of like forgiving and open to the idea, ironically.
Let's go home.
Can you hear me? I spent years inside Kaine's body, tormenting her from within. I felt her pain, her emotions as if they were my own. And there was so much
Kinda had
pain.
a bit of a hard life.
So when I say she's free now, I want you to believe me. Thanks to you, Kaine has been forgiven.
Like, she was
and saved.
tormented as a child because she was different.
Oh wait, she had a final message for you.
And then
Thank you.
her grandmother was killed by the Shade, and she was taken over by Tyran. Half possessed by Tyran. Like, the only, like, happiness in her life has been her brief stint with NieR and Emil. And Vice. Can't forget about Vice.
We'll always be together.
And that makes ending C. Kaine's End. I believe this is the German version of the song. Sounds German. Is that racist to say? That's fine. It's fine. So there's only one ending left to get. Ending D. So we need to quickly run back through all that, kill everything again, get to the beat Kaine, and pick the other choice. And that will mark the end of our playthrough, having gotten all 4 endings. And then we'll grind out all the trophies. Yeah, no. No, we're not gonna do that. It is a shame that this game never actually received a digital release. Like, as far as I know, I don't know about in the other territories. I'm pretty sure EU and Japan didn't get a digital release on the PSN store. Japan, maybe. I'm almost certain EU didn't. But yeah, like, the only way to get this game is to buy a physical copy, which is a shame. I figure I should press all the buttons, see if there is an actual way to... It'd be a shame if I could skip the credits the whole time. Although we would miss out on this beautiful song that is just as good on the, like, many times listening to as it is on the first viewing. Taking us a little bit less time to plow through this than I thought it would. I was worried that despite skipping everything, that ending C and D were going to be a big slog, like an hour each or something like that. It's good to see that you really can. Like, you mash everything and skip every scene, and you can really speedrun a game if you try hard enough. Did they ever do NieR for AGDQ? Summer Games Done Quick in 2013. They did, yeah, Summer Games Done Quick 2013. They did a speed run of NieR. Guy did it in 3 hours, 23 minutes, and 22 seconds. this an any percent? Let's see. Raise money, level down. I'm just curious if it was a speed run of all endings. Probably not. It's probably a speed run to ending A. Oh, he's using the alternate costumes, the kabuki outfits from the DLC. Yeah, I looked at the DLC, and I thought about it. I thought about incorporating it into an episode, because there is, like, I think there's like little bits of story there. There's some stuff with NieR's wife, because NieR's wife's journal is what triggers the whole DLC. Like, reading through that pulls you into a dream world where you fight a whole bunch of combat arenas. Combat arenas that are actually supposedly really difficult, to the point where you need to be endgame, like the power level I am now, like level 35 plus, to really not get one shot by some of the last ones. And there are a couple costume sets you earn, like a samurai themed one and a kabuki outfit themed one. That's this is the completion of ending C. It doesn't really matter where we save this to. We'll save it to memory 2. Ending D. Your choice in this decision could allow you to view the very last piece of the ending. That was actually something I didn't know, but when you go through on your C route, you actually get a bunch of trophies for the major bosses you kill, like killing the wolf Rock, whose name I finally remembered. Killing Rock again, like for the 3rd time and all that. When you do the C route, you actually get trophies for all that, which popped up, which I was kind of surprised about when I was just blasting through that to make this save point. Alright, gang, let's do this one more time. Speed run to the Shadow Lord. Speed run into the Shadow Lord. Defeat Kaine. And let's get the last ending. The last piece of the NieR puzzle.
Such an
close the book, as it were.
Yet I find it strangely nostalgic. And that...
Yeah, that is clearly like an old-timey like elevator. Such fancy, beautiful areas. Makes you wonder what they could have done. Oh, you talk to the birds. Makes you wonder what they could have done if they had sort of more time, more budget, and all that. Like what they really could have done with this game. There's clearly some areas that were originally probably planned to be expanded. Like the second part of Facade. Separating body from soul. They're in a promised land, bursting with light.
Well then.
Like the Facade area seems rushed. The Forest of Myth, especially, it seems like it feels like there's a lot missing from there.
It's
Hey, this is even if
makes you wonder. I'm here to rescue Yona.
No.
Devila?
We never thought we'd grow to be this powerful.
Did I kill them fast enough to get them to just go right back to their spots?
Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so with us, Grimoire.
Maybe I should be
You are a traitor.
getting pretty good at this. Maybe I should be trying out for the NieR's. Maybe I should be getting on that NieR speedrun. Can I beat? What did we say? What did I just say he was? Oh, skip this. 3 hours, 23 minutes, 22 seconds. So that's beginning of the game to ending A. That's pretty good. 3.5 hours.
Of course we can.
Like, it's not a terribly long game if you boil it all down to it.
simply loan you a small portion of it.
Oh, we got the map. Yeah, we did it, guys. We got the map.
Devil on.
Now we know where we're going.
Fighting us.
Yes, they do seem to be putting us through a great deal of...
You all right there?
How?
How odd.
I do like that
For
some of the
long years, my
conversations
mind
do
and
persist
tongue
through
have
the
been my
loading screen.
greatest
That's kind of nice.
assets.
It's too bad it didn't keep going completely. But that might have been the end of it. Mutations found. Subcutaneous cells. That's important stuff from Project Gestalt. You don't get those enough. And sometimes the loading screens go too fast. Which is a really weird thing to complain about. If anything, once you've, like, gotten one of those to pop up, or it popped up, like, 5 times or something like that, it should show up in your documents menu so you can read it.
They're all shades.
That would have been a neat little touch. Anything that you have seen, anything, like, any not tips, but any, like, diary entries or journal entries you've seen at least 5 times, or something like that, show up in your regular journal in your menu so you can read them whenever you want.
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Why do they keep them showing up behind me? That's not fair. Did the sword not load in? That's weird. We gotta put the lance back on. This is probably the biggest slog in this area. The fight here with the shades in the ballroom does take a lot. There's a lot of shades to get through. This is also like when you're trying to get like the words, like the end level of the words that like power up your stats. Like this is where a lot of them can come from. Oh, we did it! Level 37 again. If they could spawn in a teensy bit faster, that'd be much appreciated. Poke. Oh, I thought that was one in the air, but it was a meal. Damn it, Emil. Emil, why aren't you dog fighting in the air with these like flying shades? You're the flying guy. That should be your job.
Damn it! They won't stop coming.
I'll open the next door. Cover me.
And now they have like shields around them. And now I can't hit them.
Knock it off, Vice.
I made the camera all goofy.
Oh, right. Protect the hussy.
Okay,
yes.
that one should have hit.
Plan, let's go.
Oh, there we go. Aha! Trying.
Door, come on. Oh, come on.
Kaine, hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a
Kaine, just
goddamn
open the
locksmith
bloody
to you?
door. We have endings to get to.
Goddamn no.
Oh, wow. That's fine. Oh, it's a boar. Slaughter this innocent. Oh, she's dead. Yeah, maybe I don't think this is supposed to be the same boar because it pans away. The camera pans like 180 degrees, and then the board's like behind you. So I don't. This must be a different boar. It's very unclear.
Can we even hurt this thing?
That fog! Oh no!
Which is kind of weird. It's like, why would they do the board twice? Like with armor and without armor?
Stay
Wouldn't it have made
focused,
sense? Made more sense to just go to the armored.
Don't fall
Especially because the armored board can't die. You can go to the armored board from the
Come on!
start.
We have to keep going!
Move it!
A little weird. Gotta get the most. Oh, combo fanatic. We did it, guys. No.
This way! Move!
We're gonna try. Chat, can we do it? We're almost there. We're gonna do it. Yeah, 100 hit trophy. Except it didn't. Yeah, we did it. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. Oh, you can see the shade on the map. Neat. Never noticed.
Up here.
That was totally worth it. Now we're gonna get all the... No. If there weren't so many quests that required...
Please hurry.
I might look at it, because I would love to say that I've platinumed this game. This game is This game has sort of become one of my favorites, despite... in despite of itself. I would like to platinum it, but it's just... I'd have to look. Like, doing the fishing...
I can't get it open.
Like, the fishing is not... It's not just go and catch a fish from every area or something like that. Like, you have to level the fishing up, and it's not all that easy. And it's just hours of work just to get the fishing trophy. So, platinuming this game is an ordeal. I don't think I'm quite ready to undertake. Yay. Back up. Unfortunately, this part of the fight takes quite a while. You gotta wait for the king to finish talking about how much he owes NieR and people. We get good music though. We get the upbeat version of Emil's theme.
You are correct.
Let's get the trophy again. Just mash square to win game. God, camera's getting out of control. I will say the combo counter is pretty lenient. Can we get it to 50? Yeah, I got the 50. Out of here. Bye, King of Facade. You were really cool. I wish we'd spent more time together. Even though you don't wear a mask properly. It kind of bothers me. Some of these rooms are kind of unnecessary, like this one. It's like hallways for the sake of hallways. Like that last one was a boss fountain. It was just there to fill you up on stuff for... did we do Devil of Popol around 2 yet? No, we did not. It's all blurring together at this point. Oh, it's the documents. These documents are going to haunt me in my sleep. I remember everything.
All of them. Nope.
I wonder if when Vice remembered everything, it was not just like a little secret thing in his mind. Where
Sorry,
like,
but we're gonna be needing. Please don't be angry with us. Under the command of the.
Oops. Oh no. I'm just. All right. Never speak of this again. It's like I probably should have joined with Grimoire Noir and saved everybody. But oops. Oops. That's my bad.
We're the same.
My B.
We've been friends for so long.
Goodbye, Song of the Ancients. Good song. Good song. Emil blow himself up. And we didn't get the Emil scene at the end of ending C. Just B. It's interesting. Yona and the Shadow Lord. Me and Kaine. Sort of the romantic angle between NieR and Kaine makes a little bit... It's probably hits home a little bit more with young NieR. Like, it's not like old ugly man and hot naked lady can't have a nice fulfilling relationship or anything, but I feel like just probably from the delivery that younger NieR probably comes off as a lot more naive. Sort of like young and naive, whereas adult NieR kind of knows what he's doing. Grizzled old man in his 40s, early 50s at this point. I think he's supposed to be around 40 years old. Yeah, he's in his early 40s, so it's probably just short of 50 years old at this point after that 5-year time skip. We'll kill the book. Down with literature.
Hold nothing back.
God, I need a lock on. There you go. Murder that literature. Hey, I got a refill on my health.
Be careful!
You too.
Hey, Sunshine. There's something kinda
Quick,
weird happening in your
just
heart.
pound on him. We could trigger the next
The
phase.
hate is gone. The sadness is gone. It's just a bunch of white light.
Make it really awkward. Can I get the
don't
idle
know what's
animation
going
triggered?
on,
Can I
but
do
I
it?
don't
Can I do
like
it? Oh, that would have been great. Get NieR's idle animation where he just sits down on the ground.
Wait,
Really robbed the scene from all gravitas that it's supposed to have. Yona.
Kaine, watch over Yona for me. You want me to understand?
Shadow Lord, you seem angry. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore.
Oh,
to
come
protect
on.
my daughter
That
and
one
my
should have hit.
friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside.
And then Vice dies. Or... Bye, Vice. You're the best. Ooh, I did not get this. Did not get the hit in this time. It's like, I hate to downplay your sorrow and everything, Shadow Lord, but you...
I have a reason to live.
You and NieR, you guys got your touching moments in endings A and B. This is all about ending D now. And then he dies. And this will play out exactly the same. Kaine relapses, starts to go nuts.
I'm gonna
It's like, also, by the way, like,
Sunshine.
Yona's here.
I'm gonna swallow you whole.
And you don't see it because, like, the way the camera pans and shifts.
Kaine.
But
Listen to
the second, like, hostilities start,
I can't hold it.
Kaine,
yeah, like, right
Shut
now, Yona's now gone. He just disappears from the back of the scene. I mean, you can imagine. It's like, oh, shit's getting dangerous. She went and hid under a
Camille's
bed.
gone,
Like
alright.
that bed she was
So
sleeping
there's
on.
no way anyone can stop me.
Yeah, 'cause she should be up in that top corner there. Top right corner. It's okay. She went and hid under the bed. Nothing can hurt you if you hide underneath a bed. Everybody knows that. That's why children hide under beds. Like, you are 100% invincible as long as you are hiding underneath a bed. That is a fact.
Consider it a final request.
Well, hell, Sunshine. It's not like I can stop it. When gestalts go out of control, they lose their minds. Your memory and mine will be
I didn't get a
completely
chance to see what's out this
overridden.
window. It's just buildings. Bright sky, buildings.
Kaine.
We're pretty high up, though. Yeah, so there's like a weird conference hall, ballroom kind of thing on the top of this building. It's weird.
Damn it. There has to be a way. No, I won't do it.
We're gonna like take one of these. We're gonna take one of these. And we're gonna heal. We're gonna use one of these recovery potions. Oh, getting hit while potioning, like, cuts it off? I didn't know that. Interesting. Damn.
We didn't come here to watch each other die. You taught me something.
Oh,
You taught me
oh,
a man must
oh.
be strong to protect those he loves.
Fucking I'm just getting demolished here. I can't get out of this rhythm.
I swear it!
There you go, it's fine now.
Well,
It's fine.
it don't matter.
You can
so
save her.
Wait.
Save her by killing her.
said, listen. There's a way to save Kaine's life, all right?
So don't even finish explaining. I'd like to think that's canon. Like, he's just stabbing her over and over again. He's like, you could save her life. It's like, huh? What? I can do what now?
Now, if
Oh,
you want to
oh.
save your precious Kaine, there are two ways to do it.
You can
One
kill her
is to plunge your
and
sword
end her
into
from
her
all of her
chest.
torment and
That's what she
misery,
wants after all.
which is what we just did in Ending C.
Freedom from life.
And now we're going to
What's the
explore
other
the other way.
The other way is to make her a normal human being again. But to make that happen, you gotta trade your own existence for hers.
Like, it's a very noble...
Good luck with it.
The idea that
You're
he is
ashamed
trading
inside
himself for
Kaine.
her is very, like, noble
Why are
thing.
you trying to help her?
But it's also comes...
Probably for the
It's
same
a little
reason you
strange,
are.
too, considering that how he's fought for years to get Yona back so that he can be with his daughter. And so that, I guess that just speaks to... That speaks to how much he cares about Kaine. That now that he's finally reunited with his daughter and she's safe, he's willing to just give up spending his life with Yona to give up spending his life with Yona to give Kaine a second chance. Here we go.
You will disappear from this world. Your daughter, your friends, everyone in your life will forget you. You and any sign that you ever existed.
A
will
harsh
be
price to
erased.
pay.
And in exchange, Kaine will return to her mortal life.
All your save data will be erased. Are you sure? Even if you elect against it, you can return the selection by clearing the game again. Are you sure? Like, all NieR save data, like, on your account, everything is gone. Are you really, really sure? Like, really, really sure? Yeah. We do it. And as one final measure, just to drive it home, enter the name of the player to be erased. I don't think it was an all... Oh my god, just uncapitalize. Goodbye. And now we watch as the game clears every last thing. We've done all those items I collected. All the quests that I completed. All my weapons that I painstakingly worked for. All my big powerful words. My one fish that I collected. The only fish I ever caught. I was saving that fish. We were gonna eat it on Yona's wedding day. Goodbye, documents. Was that my birthday one? I guess we're not gonna find out now. I don't know, actually know what that was. Level 38. We got to level 38 by the end. That's pretty good. I feel strong with that. And of course the keys to get in here. Which we didn't really need anymore anyways. Save game 1. I love how much they draw it out. It's not just like, poof, your data's gone. It's like, now watch us slowly just wipe the slate clean. Every little bit. The more you did and the longer your journey, like, the more there is to erase and the longer it takes. Such a clever concept. It's a shame it gets reused in a lot of his games, and after you played a few Yoko Taro games, you start to see it coming. I mean, it never stops being like a neat little concept, and he does find ways to make sure it's poignant and heartfelt.
Yona.
Are you the one who helped me?
Like, well, these two are left. Now, it's unclear, but does this make Kaine a human? Or just, like, does it just bring her back as a replicant?
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad you're okay.
Like, Yona is also, like, a replicant that may or may not scrawl out now because her shade is gone.
I mean,
willingly.
You defeated the Shadow Lord and everything, but you don't look happy.
I don't?
Oh no, your flower.
Oh, a lunar tear. How pretty. Are you crying?
Yeah. I guess I am. It's like I just found something special. Something very special.
And that is it. That is our last ending. Which leads into the huge shock when NieR Automata got announced, because it was called NieR Automata. And from this ending, which is canon, like all of the endings are canon, the fact that how do you call the next game NieR Automata when NieR has been erased from history? Like, NieR is the father or brother, like the main character's name, like the canon name, and he's gone. He's been completely just erased. So continuing, putting another game out that has that name, like, it's probably more of a brand, it's just like a signifier, like, hey, this is part of that world and franchise. But it almost might have been a really cool thing to release it just as like Automata, and its references, leave in all of its references to NieR and to NieR's world, but let people discover that by playing, as opposed to like telling you right off the bat, like, this is another NieR game. Because like NieR, this game, you know, sort of final thoughts about this game, like, it is an amazing game in spite of itself. Like, the gameplay, especially the gameplay, the grindy quest, like side quest structure, and the grinding, the random drops and stuff like that, lead to a lot of just time wasting and frustration. But these are all things that were cleaned up in the future. Like, Automata is a great example of, like, how do you take everything amazing about this game, dust off all the mediocre kind of crappy parts, just put them, like, fix them, and then use them to elevate up the amazing story and music and characters. So, like, having budget and, like, a top-tier action development team like Platinum, like, really goes a long way. Like, this game, parts of it still hold up. Its story and its music and all that is amazing, but it's not super fun to play minute to minute. Like, the actual gameplay is serviceable, but, like, it's not great. Like, that's one of the reasons I probably won't get the DLC, because combat arenas, while there was a combat arena DLC for Automata, which was kind of fun, like, I don't want to just fight monsters, because that is, like, the least engaging part of this game. But this is something that this is a game that has always been worth playing, and I still hold out that it should be played by people that have interest in good stories and RPGs and that. Unfortunately, it's not widespread enough. It was never that popular. It barely eked out a profit enough. It became profitable enough in the long run that Square greenlit the sequel. But, like, when it first came out, it bombed. And I think a lot of people just didn't give it the chance. They didn't put enough into it to get to the really interesting bits that hook you. And because of what's there, you can't really blame them. But I don't know. It is a very special game, and will always sort of remain in that niche. Would I like to see a remake? Sure. I would play a remake of this game, cleaned up and redone. I would almost rather see someone, like a smaller team, even just polish the game up and re-release it on PS4, just as like an up-res, just to get it out there. I don't think I would want to see, like, Taro and Platinum rebuild this game from the ground up, because the story's, like, already been told. Like, this game exists still. I think just making this version of it more readily available would be enough, and I would rather see the time go into something new. Who knows what that would, like NieR Automata sold so incredibly well that, like, Square Enix has said that they're very interested in continuing the franchise. What that means, who the hell knows? I will say this, like, every one of Yoko Taro's games, especially in the NieR universe, have a very strong sense of finality. Like, this game doesn't really leave any open ends. Like, this game is just a tightly woven, finalized package. Something very special. And there goes the save games. Thanks for playing. That's it. There's nothing left. Yeah, so once you have completed the game and gotten ending D and cleared your save game out, your reward, your sort of permanent reward, is a nice little lunar tier. And I think if we go to continue, it's all gone. All of it's gone. Now I think I might just be imagining this. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this correctly. That if you try to put in... I might be confusing this with Undertale, but I think if you try and put in the same name... Yeah. If you try and use the same name as someone that has been erased from existence, the name cannot be used. That's such a cool little... Like, that's neat. That's a cool little thing. So, that's it. That is the end of our playthrough of NieR. I did promise a very definitive end to our playthrough, and I don't think you get more definitive than that. If you are interested in this game, it is very hard to get a hold of. Ever since the release of NieR Automata and its popularity, Square Enix has started reprinting the PS3 copies of the original NieR. I'm just gonna skip the spoiler laden,
Vice!
the spoiler laden intro. They have started reprinting the PS3 version because there was demand for it again. I think you can still get it from their store. You can also pull it off like eBay and that, but it's not cheap. Like, I think I bought it. I finally bought a copy shortly after Automata came out just to have it, with no intent on getting around to playing it for a while. And I paid like $50 for it. But that was before the reprint started. So it is possible to get it. There is no digital release, which is a shame, because that would be such an easier way to get it into people's hands. But if you're looking for more information outside of what I've covered, or to expand upon points that I've made, like the expanded things that the game doesn't really go into super high detail of, you can look up. There is Grimoire NieR, which was a art book, timeline, compendium, Wikipedia combination thing that was released in Japan and translated by a bunch of guys. Is pretty easy to find the PDF of that. Just Google Grimoire NieR English, and you'll find the PDF, no problem for that. And it's got tons. It's got the whole timeline of everything that happened from June or July 2004 when Kaim and the Dragon and the Queen Beast drop in, all the way up until the start of the game, and I think even beyond the end of the game. And if you want more information about, this will be my only plug. If you want more information about NieR, the Drakengard universe, or anything like that, I highly recommend Klemps, Mr. Klemps on YouTube. He does lots of analysis videos and stuff like that, and he's done a great series on NieR, Drakengard, and all that. His stuff, he's got a weirdo British sense of humor in all of his videos, and they're great. I've very much enjoyed his analysis of the Drakengard, the NieR stuff, and on all the other games he's covered. So if you want more NieR goodness, you can look up him for more information on this world. As for me, I don't really know what I'm going to do next. Stream something. Maybe Metal Gear. Maybe while the PS3 is sitting here all warmed up, we'll throw in some Metal Gear 3. It's been ages since I played through Snake Eater. And it's all sorts of fun things to talk about in the Metal Gear universe. But until next time, that is going to be it for the stream. I thank everybody for watching. Whether you watched them live on stream, whether you watched this on YouTube down the road from the archives, I would like to thank you for coming along on this touching, mostly sad and depressing, but emotional journey of a wonderful game that very few people ever got to play. A game that deserves more attention than it ever got. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. That is the wrong thing again. God, it's ruined my ending. Ruin it every time. People tell me don't quit my day job. Right.